What's going on, guys? Let's get into a couple teams now that the playoffs are underway. The first round is wrapping up. Let's get into a couple teams that I felt really underexceeded their expectations, especially on my end. I'll be posting a video in its entirety of just reviewing my regular season standing predictions. I'll probably be coming out in the next week or so, so be sure to subscribe and check that out when it does come live. But in the meantime, we'll give a little taste to everyone. Some teams that I thought were disappointing. We'll start off with the first one, Vancouver Canucks. I had them as a lock for the playoffs. I had them as the second best team in the Pacific this year. Obviously, the drama between JT Miller and Elias Pettersson really threw off the entire season. Rick Tocchet now just recently left the Vancouver Canucks, decided not to exercise his option to coach for the team again. So things just completely went off the rails due to the drama. Another team, the New York Rangers, got off to a really poor start, and you'll see a trend with this with some of the other teams I talk about, with teams that just get off to a terrible start and just snowballed, or they weren't able to dig themselves out of a hole because it was too deep that they dug. The Rangers, Chris Kreider was a big player who regressed. Mika Zibanejad was terrible the first half of the year, was better alongside JT Miller on the wing, so maybe they try that out full-time next year now that JT Miller is going to be full-time with the Rangers next year. So the Rangers were another team that I felt was pretty disappointing. I had the Rangers as one of the best teams in the entire NHL, one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. So for a team that's consistently been making it, going on deep runs to the Eastern Conference Final, to fall short of even making the playoffs is certainly a disappointment for the Rangers. But I think they can bounce back overall if they can address their defensive holes a little bit and then beef up that forward core a little bit. Another team, the Boston Bruins. I always lived by Bruins, Penguins, Capitals in the playoffs until they proved me otherwise. The Penguins, this was the first year that I had them out of the playoffs. The Bruins, I had them in the playoffs once again because, again, I thought that the Lindholm and Zorov signings would benefit the team. I thought they improved the roster over the offseason, but those didn't really work out. There was a little bit of getting familiar with the new systems that took Elias Lindholm a little bit to get into it. Zadorov was a little iffy to start the season as well, and that kind of held the team back. I also do think Swayman not getting a training camp really hurt them as well because they didn't have Linus Ullmark as the backup and as the tandem goalie. So I expect the Bruins to bounce back. I do think they make the playoffs next year, but maybe this is a blessing in disguise because the Bruins desperately needed some high-end forward talent, and I think they can get a really solid, for sure, top six center, maybe in the first-line center at this upcoming NHL draft. And then the last team, the Nashville Predators, that's pretty much a slam dunk one. The Predators were offseason champs, similar to the story we see with the Chicago Bears, and the Predators just got off to a very poor start. Things just snowballed, and by the time that they started to string together a couple wins, it was just too little too late. So let me know who you guys think are pretty disappointing teams this year. Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like this short, and also be sure to subscribe to this channel. I'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.